Does anybody like mysteries? British mysteries, mystery theater, all those sorts of things, Father Brown, whatever. Well, today we have a locked door mystery. Does anybody know what a locked door mystery is? Anybody heard of that? It's a subgenre of mystery stories where a person is murdered in a room, a locked room, locked from the inside, no key on the outside can get in. So how was a person murdered in that room? You have opportunity, you have motivation, but what was the means? What was the means by which this came about? And the most famous one of these is by Edgar Allan Poe in the 1840s, called The Murders in the Rue Morgue. And it's seemingly impossible that the murderer was not in the room at the time when the person was discovered, because the room was locked. Well, today we have an even more wondrous story than a locked room mystery. In the upper locked room, a murdered man is found alive in the presence of 11 witnesses. It's so amazing. It says the door was locked and Jesus appeared in their midst. Twice. I saw it first on Easter and then on the second Sunday after Easter. Not that they had a church calendar like that in that day, but it happened twice. Once with actually the 10, and Thomas wasn't there, and of course Thomas was there the second time to see this, as you learn in the story. And this is not some cunning sleight of hand. Jesus is not only returned from the dead, resurrected, but his entering a locked room is evidence that his body has been glorified, that physical laws no longer hold him back. Maybe that's how you and I will be in the resurrection. Maybe when we are raised, we will have bodies like that, because there is an indication that our bodies, when they're glorified like Christ's, he is the firstborn from the dead. We will be born from the dead, so the physical laws of our lives, of our world, won't influence us anymore. He says, "Peace be with you." And then he says to them, "As the Father has sent me, so I send you." This is where the disciples become apostles, because apostle is the word. Apostolos means sent one. He is going to send them to do his ministry. Now here's the question: why would he bother? These guys were abject failures. He didn't come to them and say, "Well, you really messed up the last time. I'll give you one more chance to get this right." Did he do that? No. He has some sort of assurance that they're going to be able to do it. And this is the assurance that he offers them in the story. He does something very significant. He breathes on them, and he says, "Receive the Holy Spirit." That's why Jesus has confidence that they can fulfill this mission of not backing down again. That was the purpose of his coming to them that day. And of course, we know about unbelieving Thomas. "Unless I see and put my finger in his hand and put my hand into his side, I will not believe." So Jesus kind of comes the next week and says, "Thomas, come here. Have I got something to show you? Put your hand in my side. Put your finger in the nail prints." And his response is, "My Lord and my God." Now, this is the most significant part of this for you and me. After he says this, Jesus says, "Have you believed because you saw?" He could have said the same thing to the other disciples. "Blessed are those who have not believed, who have not seen, and yet believe." What he's saying there is that you are more blessed than they were at that moment. Being with Jesus all those 3 years, think about this. Being with Jesus, having Jesus next to them for 3 years was not enough to keep them faithful. But when God gives us the Holy Spirit, we have the power of God within us. That's what keeps us faithful. You have a greater gift than they did. The Spirit hadn't been given yet, except when Jesus breathed on the disciples, so that they could then have that power to do all these things for God. Jesus has breathed on you and said, "Receive the Holy Spirit." He sends you out to be the light of the world. Your job, if you want to put it that way, your calling, your apostolic your apostolate is to be Christ to the people around you, to show them a different way, to influence those around you. I found it interesting when Archbishop Bergoglio, he was interviewed on a few weeks ago, and they said, what should military people do in these difficult times with all the things going on in the world? And he says, do as well as you can. Isn't that what being a Christian is to do as well as you can for others? To see after them, to love your neighbor as yourself, to show them what it means to be Christ to the world, to imitate Christ as best you can. And the only way you're going to do that is not by following a list of rules, not by going to church on Sunday just to be religious, to be filled with the Spirit of God. This uncreated light that comes to you, that makes you different, that shows love to neighbor and enemy and anybody who comes along, you help them and show them the way. Today, that man, you are the man. That man, Elijah, is going to receive that gift of the powering of the Holy Spirit. He's going to breathe on you. Jesus is going to go, oh. I brushed my teeth. Receive the gift of the Holy Spirit. Did you know, has anybody ever been to a chrism mass before? There are 3 oils in the church. We have the chrism oil, we have the oil of the whatever it is, 2 other oils, oil of healing, and oil of catechists. And when a bishop blesses them, they have them in big, big containers, those 3 oils. He breathes on them because the Spirit comes. And this is where Elijah is going to feel this empowering. He's received the Spirit in his gift of baptism. Now he's going to feel it this other way. In fact, I would suggest to you one thing for all of us. There's only one door Jesus cannot get through. All doors are open. Jesus can come into a locked room. He can come here. He can come there. He can do all these things because he's God, of course, and he's got a glorified body. But he can't enter in through the door of a person's heart unless they allow him to. May God always allow us to open our doors to him. The door, behold, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and answers, I will come into him and sup with him and he with me. That's a Eucharistic talk. You open the door to Jesus Christ and all of the doors in your life will be opened.